Hey there, everybody. Kind of the comedy of errors going on here with the um, in the creation cave. Some technical difficulties going on, but hey, sometimes such is life, and we can't avoid those things. That is a okay. I think I've got my problems resolved here. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure everything is set up just right. Okay, well, you can see me now in two angles. What do you know? That's kind of fun. um, anyways, doing some of Cal's Abyssal Dwarves tonight. We're gonna bop some tunes. We're gonna do an unpacking of the Paint Minis Live um, travel studio for your enjoyment. If you think you missed out on the first version of this, don't worry. I'm going to be taking it down. Let's see here. Let's grab some tunes. And okay. Well, there we go. All right. So, let's talk about the Paint Minis Live mobile studio and what it do, what it be. I'm gonna get that set up really quick. So this is what comes with me when I decide to go and paint on the road. A lot of the time, it is I kind of want to have all my equipment with me because I would like to paint to my my standards. How's it going, Cal? Good to see you. Um, but I'd like to do that on the road, and sometimes that's a little bit difficult to package it all, but I think it's worth it. I think when I'm traveling or going and just gonna go chill somewhere for a little while, I want to bring my paint stuff with me. This is what I bring along. I think you guys might find some enjoyment in seeing what's all in there. Did I just move? This is all, yeah, this is all stuff from when we moved to this joint to start with. All of the things in the background. I'm still working on getting it all kind of. That was a lot less, or a lot more, like a couple of months ago. Anywho's, I bring two large containers with me. One is the tech container. The other one is the paint container for when I'm on the road. Obviously, all the tech goes in the tech container. A lot of the paint stuff goes in the paint container. The kind of fun part of that is I haven't actually really live streamed outside of the creation cave all that often. I'd like to do that more. So I do bring it with me. I do kind of play with it. Every once in a while I realize, oh, I forgot a cord or I forgot this, which kind of makes it not happen. So I'm in the process of trying to buy two of everything just so I can have one on hand. So let's check out what we have here. I'm just gonna go ahead and make that nice. So again, the smaller one is usually all of the stuff that I use for the painting side of things. The larger blue one is going to be for all the tech that I bring with me when I go painting. I'm hoping that I can get out to Claricon this year, and I'd really like to go there and paint some models. This is what I'd be bringing with me essentially. So let's start with the tech container. Sometimes this is overflow stuff, things that are too large or can't fit in the paint container. Some of that goes in here. So I bring my rinse well with me. If you haven't seen this before, it's kind of fun. The Basically, this water bottle fits right on top. It fills up the this lower reservoir here, and all you have to do is push a button like you're flushing a toilet. You get clean water, and you don't get any color bleed from your rinse well. So if you're using red prior and you need blue now, you can just do that. How's it going, Robert? Good to see you. So that's the rinse well that I bring with me that I use here as well. I like to bring my dump pot with me for my airbrush. This is just what you spray all of your um, the last little bits of whatever you were spraying. You put it in here. It's got a fun little got a nice little filter in it, so you can kind of you can do that and not have to worry about contaminating another space if you don't you're kind of tight on space. I like to bring my gloves with me when I go and travel. These are disposable, powder-free vinyl gloves. They're cheap, easy to get a hold of, and these are what I like to use. All right. All right. Another bit of kit that I like to bring with me is this is a nail polish shaker. Let me see. Yeah, nail lacquer shaker is what it is. This essentially has a tiny little motor in it, and you click this button. This little bit moves back and forth, shakes your paint. It's wonderful. You can find all this stuff on the Paint Minis Live. The Paint Minis Live Discord server, which come to remind myself here, we're going to take a look and put our banner up so you can check that out. I just refreshed the link on there if there was any problems with the link prior. Another big ticket item in the tech box is going to be our airbrush compressor. This is a Posh D3000R. It does what it needs to do. It's a quarter horse, or like a fifth of horsepower, but it'll do what you need it to, and plus it's got a tank on the bottom. I prefer my airbrush compressors to have a tank. That way you get constant flow with your paint, rather than like if you were to use a tankless air compressor, you'll get spotting when you go really fine detail with it. It's kind of just, since there's no tank to keep that flow going, you get little spots on your finished product. So not much of a fan of that. All right. Would you drive or fly to Claricon in 2024? It's about a 14-hour drive from Atlanta. So if you were to go, you'd need a day to drive and a day to get back. Luckily, I'm not that far away from the Dungeon Minister himself. He's in Toronto, and I'm in Minnesota, so we're kind of, basically, it's just head, would that be, I think, east? Would that be east? He's like lateral from me, so it's just kind of, I would have to either go under to like down and then back up from Michigan, I think would probably be it, or I would have to enter Canada, which isn't that bad, but I'd have to enter Canada and then drive all the way over and back down to him to get around the lakes, essentially. So that would essentially be how I'd get there. Let's see here. So another couple of things. This is just a little overflow, but you know, an X-Acto kit with some knives and blades, also some airbrush tools in there for cleaning the airbrush when it gets dirty or clogged, or if I need to do any maintenance in there. I put those things inside of this, including this. This is kind of a fun little tool for you. This is the needle to actually clean the small nozzle on the airbrush, and it is absolutely fine pointed. You don't want to jab yourself with that bad boy. So handle with care. It's definitely not a tool you give your kids. But yeah, I toss that in there in case I need it. I'll bring a tripod with me for mounting cameras and such. And it kind of goes without explaining, but there are extension cords and other things in there just in case. I did a live stream from Dreamer's Vault. It's a game shop in the area, and I needed some extension cords and stuff, so I ran out and got a bunch, and I just keep them in there for when I need to use them. This is your handy dandy retractable desk lamp, just kind of your standard giant line of LEDs on a stick with just a opposable arm and a little flick switch on the base. And I have 2 of those inside of the tech container. Also have some airbrush cords in there for when I need them. If you can't tell, this is not only is this an educational bit for what a miniature painter brings along with him, but or her, whatever. But it's also me resetting the studio and some of the things I forgot to put back together again. So now we get on to the fun bit. This is the paint container. Inside of the paint container, we've got these are just cosmetic wedges for like makeup removal. I keep a ton of these on hand. This bag will last you a long time if you go out and just get a bunch of them. This is what I'm talking about. Nice and squishy, kind of got a nice elastic feel to them. I use them to bitter death. This one's actually still pretty new. Do I have any others that are... Not really. I think I've probably gotten rid of a couple of them, but there are some really old ones probably floating about that get really stained up. But you can use these over and over and over again for various things. Whether it's cleaning up a little spot that you miss, like a little misstroke on your model or whatever. I tend to use a ton of those guys. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Does Canada use the same type of plugs? I don't know. I'm not sure. That is a good question. If somebody knows, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let us know. Another item on the list here is sanding sticks. I use these for when I'm clipping models and taking them off the sprue. Sometimes you'll find some mold lines or other things in there that, you know, you kind of just don't want to hack at with an X-Acto blade or something. So I'll use these nice little sanding sticks. Very handy. I also like to keep a bag of these ones are from Green Stuff World, but acrylic clear round bases. These are my preferred bases of choice, mainly because I like the fact that they're clear, so you can see what's under them. It kind of, I guess, makes a bit more of a immersive feeling, I guess, for the model, for lack of a better term, when you put it on the tabletop and you can see what's under it instead of there being just the grassy base or whatever. Plus, it saves me time in basing for models that just kind of use these 32 mil round clear bases. You know, it saves me a ton of time. So I like to keep a little sack of those guys in there from when I need them. I'll also take. You can find these online. These are a tattoo artist product. They're for doing tattoos and things like that. You can find these little squeeze bottles with a straw on them. I got these 3 for like $2 on the Jeff Bezos Superstore. But it's got a nice little straw that reaches all the way down to the bottom, so you don't have to worry about it. And it's just a nice little, squeezy bottle that you fill with your water, and it helps clean everything up. Next up on the list, I think we're gonna, maybe instead of doing it like that, I will just kind of move the camera. Maybe bring you guys around here and do a little turn around here. There we go. So I'll just bring you way up high on the desk so you can see what I'm doing. It looks like we're a little bit loose on the camera. We got 6 lounge cats in the chat. Welcome to everyone. It is good to see you. If I can make this work, I'm going to be proud of myself. Just watch. All right. Ooh. Everything's leaning again. All right, cool. I will deal with that. All right, so in airbrush case number 1, we've got a secondary hose for the like knockoff airbrushes that I use predominantly for, well, everything. I use these airbrushes for both painting and priming, kind of really good, quick and dirty. First layer paint, I guess, just get some color on the model and start from there. This is case number 2. This is with the actual, these guys, these Start airbrush brushes. I got these from Spray Gunner. They come in this really nice kit. It's like $40 for the airbrush. Honestly, I couldn't recommend these airbrushes enough to anybody. Like, just pick up the kit, get yourself a compressor, and like let rip. Just go ham dinner on it. So I'm gonna set that aside. I'll probably end up using that tonight along with this hose. Second of all, we've got, and this one I opened first. This is a stand and the actual airbrush itself, the Infinity series airbrush from Harder and Steinbeck. This one's kind of a fancy Kiev edition. All of the money that all the profit that they got from this particular model went to families in need in Ukraine, and it's kind of cool because the trigger and the trigger pull are the blue and yellow, the Ukraine flag, and then this laser engraved mural here was done by a artist that does murals at the Kiev Children's Hospital. So I thought it was really cool. Sarah picked it up as a present for me. Get that out of the way. Plus, you've got some other bits for the other airbrushes and such. So I will just put this guy back together real quick. We'll be on our way to the next item. All right. Cool beans. So next item here, this is actually the, it's a pop-out photo booth. I'm not going to take it out, but it's basically a cubic photo booth. I bring this with me for doing photos of finished models if I get any finished. Um, Road March says the short answer is yes. They pretty much use the same outlets as we do, except hair dryers, curlers apparently have too much voltage in Canada. Fair enough. Okay. I'll have to make sure I check that out before I bring up the spray booth and whatnot. So I'll also pack a big bundle of wipes. I've got a couple of different brands of wipes that I've used. These ones were being tossed out at work. I picked them up. I also have some other brands that I carry along with me. I bring some wipes because you never know when you're going to want a new wipe. The Piece de la Resistance, a giant Tupperware tub of like literally all the paint, including brush cleaner. You'd never know what you're gonna run into. Who knows the next time when you're just, sitting out by the lake, having yourself a brewski, spray booth in hand, you're airbrushing away on your little dwarf, and some 6-year-old runs up and is like, "Oh, my parents have a D&D game going on, and I really want to join them and with their friends, and I need this dwarf painted real quick." I got the colors for the dwarf, I guess. What do you want? Red, green, blue, teal? So yeah, that's what's all up in there. And then we have a palette. This is the Exemplar wet palette from Game MV. This is really nice because if I don't want to bring out all the other airbrush stuff and I'm just doing, stuff with a traditional brush, all I gotta do is pop this bad boy open. I've got all of the brushes that I tend to use, and then a nice little paint palette in here, as well as the fact that I have a feeling when I open this up it isn't going to look all that great, but it was better than I thought. I changed the paper a little while ago. Plus, this palette keeps your paint wet for an exceptionally long time, like days and days and days. So you can keep using it. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's entertaining. And it allows me to take breaks in between painting, especially when I'm doing leisure time and whatnot. Sometimes I just want to take a break. Road March didn't think about air compressors. All right. Robert Phillips asking, what are dwarves' favorite color? I don't know. I hope it's some kind of color shift, because that's what we've got on Cal's dwarves. Another cool thing that I have in the paint bucket is gotta love it, Silly Putty, the ultimate masking for. I think that's the washer going off. But yeah, the Silly Putty works really great as a masking tool. So I pretty much just bring it wherever I'm going, because why not? I'm gonna shut the door to the paint room here since the something's going on in the background. There we go. That's what it was. It was a boiler going off, and it's like, oh yeah, gold. There you go. I think a dwarf would love would love gold. That's for sure. So tonight I think we're gonna get Cal's dwarves out here, the dwarves and the orcs. Now that we've kind of gone through and had us some fun with our extra curriculars, excuse me, and just kind of a little educational demo. We've got the dwarves in one baggie. We've got the orcs in another. I think the orcs have probably had the most paint time on them. And I'm feeling pretty good about them, so I might just keep plugging away on these guys a little bit for tonight. So now that Sapphire's mini was completed, and that was sent out the door to her daughter. I hope she has a lot of fun with that mini. Now that project is out of the way, we're free and clear to just work on these orcs, which I'm quite happy about. Let's see if I can get this tightened up just a little more. There we go. All right. So let's check our work, huh? I'm so happy I can just sit there and zoom the camera in. It has the autofocus. It is wonderful. Lounge cats, how you been? What's been new? Tell me about it. What have we been up to in the world of hobby on your end? I'd be excited to hear it. Looks like we've got some weathering in. We've got some skin tones going on. We might need, I think some of these guys still need to get their, the brown done up on their uniforms or tunics or whatever you want to call it. Definitely looking good though. We've made some progress, that's for sure. Okay, so it looks like we're definitely need to do some more brown cloaks. Although what we do have so far is looking pretty good. Let's see. Can we get the... Oh. Okay. So what we do have is pretty good, though. There's definitely some highlights going on in there, at least on the tunic part. We've got some battle damage going on for a decent amount of these guys. We've got some facial highlights, some skin highlights. Some run-of-the-mill usual work that is done here. What colors are we gonna need? Let's see. We're gonna go with... We're definitely gonna need the browns. That's for sure. Oi! Let's find our browns. That's mahogany. Get out of here, mahogany. Light umber is definitely one of them. That's one of my favorite brown colors. Out of the Pro Acryl line. Well, that's transparent brown. Not quite, not quite. We're getting there. Okay, let's get the big bottles out of the way real quick here. Bum, 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 bum. We're probably going to want us a little bit of flow improver tonight, that's for sure. Here we go, dark umber. This is a great brown base to add that light umber to. They work really well together to make things like wood, leather, all of your shenanigans. Heck, we might even find ourselves in the realm of Citadel Reichland Flesh Shade. Kind of a nice brown wash in the future here. So we'll keep that at hand. I think we're good. I think we're good. That's what we're doing. At some point, I would love to get some paint racks in here. Unfortunately, with the situation with the laser, I found out what was going on with that. So like, some more news for you. The Paint Minis Live laser cutter and engraver. It wasn't necessarily strictly stated in there, but the exhaust system in the laser, and I use it to cut things like this guy down here. We're gonna go on a little road trip. This kind of shelf paintbrush combo utility rack that I like to use. I've cut things like that on the laser, and I really enjoy having a laser around because it saves me a lot of money on hobby stuff. But I didn't realize that there's like an exhaust system to like vent the fumes out, and so I put it through a window so I don't have to smell the smoke and whatnot. Well, we had a big old cold snap, and the way that these CO2 lasers work is you use water. It uses water through this gas tube, I guess, and the water froze because it was hooked. It was still in the window. The water froze inside that cylinder, and it broke. So I called the company. It's like 300 or 300 plus to get another one. So that's kind of out of the picture. But when I get another tube, I'd really like to make another paint rack. That would be great. It's like a painter's. Yeah, exactly. Like the little wooden thing I just showed off. Yeah, painter's toolbox for sure. It's just it is really nice to have something like that around, to have all of your brushes, or just all the brushes that you kind of want to have nearby, but maybe not your most favorite brushes, or whatever. It's cool. It's cool, and I enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to getting a hold of another tube, because I'd also like to make some Paint Minis Live stuff that's custom, in-house, and super, like, really easy and affordable to kind of pass out. Just taking a look at our boy here to see what I had done previously with him. All right. What are we gonna need next? We're gonna need a little water. I'm just gonna fill up the rinse well. There we have it. We're gonna want our brushes. Where did I put my palette? Here we go. Got all of our tools of the trade out now, so that's fun. Let's see here. What am I I'm probably gonna want to use like a number 4. Use the number 4 synthetic, just because it's big, it's beefy, it can handle a lot of paint all at once. I don't really have to worry about it. We're just doing some brown basing anyways. Again, you never know when you're gonna need a white, so I'll get one of these guys out for us. All right. So I'm going to take the ones out that have already been based. Kind of just separate them out here. I think we got through a couple of them before our last stream. Got through quite a few of them, actually. Alright. Yeah, I got through quite a few of them. They're looking good. That's for sure. Alright, so there's 3 more of them that we kind of got to do this brown process on. That's a fun little thing to do anyways. I was watching, if you guys haven't caught it, Collecting Chaos has a really cool, I was watching his comic book rating stuff on Porky the Pig comic, and how comic books are rated, and like and things like that. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's really some interesting stuff. If you're interested at all in comic books, or like some of that old school cool stuff, definitely check out Collecting Chaos's stuff. I've been meaning to get around to it for quite a while now, but I finally got on the bandwagon with Collecting Chaos, and man, I have to admit he's got some pretty cool stuff when it comes to comic books. They look short. I hope they don't look. They're full size, man. They're some fully grown orcs. There you go. Yeah, they're full grown. I think I've got a couple. I might have a couple that are no. It's just the dwarves that some of them I have primed, but not that I haven't gone through the process with. So that's all the orcs I got. But yeah. All right. So I'm gonna use the nail lacquer shaker here real quick and get these guys all. It's an atrocious sound, but like luckily I don't have to worry about like kids or anything. If you're like if you got kids or something you're worried about, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the lacquer shaker. I think you'd still want to do it by hand, or maybe I don't know what else you would use similarly that would make less of a racket. I've heard of these vortex mixers too, but they're like really expensive. Not really something I'm totally interested in, but maybe someday in the future I'll give it a shot. We'll see what it do. And it sounds like sometime in the near future here I'm gonna be getting my hands on some of that army painter paint that I've been talking about for God knows how long. But I've been talking with, and I'll let you guys in on the little secret here. I've been talking with some distributors of gaming products, like paints and brushes and other things, and looks like they're pretty big into this army painter stuff. These distributors are. So I'm hoping that that I can get my hands on some of those pretty soon. Although unfortunately I've not had as good a luck with like Monument, which has been kind of a letdown, really. I've been a little bit in my talks with them. I've been a little bit underwhelmed. I really have been a hardcore fanboy for them for like a long time, but I mean, I guess I can kind of understand it, what their angle is and what kind of business they're going after, but still, I kind of had put maybe some larger hopes on working with them in the near future here. But that is what I have to say about all that. Cool beans. So I'm just gonna go through and start kind of getting all these little tunic areas painted up. Cal, I saw some really cool paints that you had done on the Discord just the other day. What did I see? I think it was it's like some. I don't think they were trees. What were they? I'll have to pull it up. Let me see. But I saw them. I thought they were really cool. You're always putting some neat new models on the PML Discord, so I appreciate it. The photos are always good motivation to get back down into the creation cave down here. Let's see here. Right there, mini showcased. Yeah, there were some trees. Yeah, there was some swamp stuff going on. But that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Probably would be doing this with the airbrush right now, but I don't really want to kick on the compressor at the moment, which is a-okay. You can take care of most of this with just your standard brush anyways. It goes pretty quick once you get into it. So what have you guys been working on out in the hobby world? Let me know. I'd be interested to hear what everybody's painting, what everybody's playing, what the next new thing is. What else was I watching today? I think it was Lawrence. Yeah, I was watching Lawrence over at Dirty Basement Terrain. I was watching him make some really cool stone golems. Man, it is making little works of art out of literally foam, and I'm all for it. He makes some pretty cool stuff. No apron for Bill T. Not afraid of a little paint. Oh no. Not here. Not here. We are not afraid of a little paint around here. Those are badges of honor, sir. Those little paint splotches and whatnot. I try and keep my hands clean though, because let's be honest, you know, when you gotta, if you're feeling a little snack hungry during your paint session, there ain't nothing wrong with going and grabbing yourself a little handful of Cheetos or something. I think recently for me, what have I been noshing on? These little goji bites. They're like chocolate goji chunks with nuts in them. I don't know why, but they do it for me. They really do. There's a lot of brown on this guy. He's got like a little coin pouch or something too. I don't know what he's got in there, but he's got some goodies. Just gonna make sure I'm not really missing anything here. A little brown under there. Cal, I was wondering, how did you fare with the storms? That was the question burning in the back of my head for the past 15 minutes of what I was gonna ask if he was still around. I wanted to make sure everything was good with Cal, because I know he's living out there. I'm not sure if it hit his area or whatnot, but I'd like to make a point to hoping he's good and his stuff fared well. Because I do care. It was, he's been a big supporter of the channel with, sending the models in to get painted, as well as, just kind of sticking it out with us on this long project for his collection. The time he took with me over the phone trying to figure out what exactly he wanted for these orcs and his dwarves, as well as just talking models and shop. I do appreciate having him around, so I wanted to make sure he's doing good. And that goes the same with all you fine folks out there. I like to get to know everybody because that's the fun of the hobby. You get to meet new people, shake some hands. I've met some outstanding folks in the hobby, that both related and somewhat indirectly are either doing model stuff, making models. A nerd's nerd who pops in from time to time, she makes models, I believe, with like 3D software and stuff, which is incredible to me, as I've tried my hand at that, and it's hard. It'll take you a while to get a grasp on how to use that kind of stuff. But just all the fine folks out there, I feel like that's like a thing that I need to have, is like an apron that says "Kiss the Painter" or something instead of "Kiss the Cook." I feel like that's on my list of things for PML, an apron that says "Kiss the Painter." I think that would be kind of funny. So just a heads up, if you were one of the people that saw the little channel update video with the new channel schedule, I'll rip it to you here real quick. Monday I'm gonna be on 8:45. Basically, all of the streams are gonna be like at 8:45, because by the time I get home, something in my stomach, and I'm ready to move on. It's usually about that time, so I'm kind of scrambling down to the creation cave here to get everything going, and sometimes, like tonight, it doesn't quite work out the way I intend, but that's a-okay. And but every night that we're doing streaming is going to be 8:45, and that will be Monday. That'll be Wednesday. I'm forgetting my own schedule now. It's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe, is what I'm doing. Oh boy, I gotta go back and check that out. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday for streaming. Wednesdays are yet to be determined what we're doing, but that's not happening this week. it's another one of those. I've got something special, but we've got some things in the works to make it happen. So I'm just waiting to hear what we can do with that. I'll give you a hint though. It's we're gonna have a nice little appearance from our friend over at Keck Publishing. If you know that name at all, we're gonna have an appearance from Keck Publishing, hopefully on Wednesday nights, because I did a poll a little while ago, and you guys responded that you wanted to see some things that Spice that show up, and we're making it happen. We're definitely gonna do it. We're still gonna be painting though, so it's just gonna be painting with a twist. Wow, we got 5 live chat lounge cats in the studio here, which is awesome to see as always. Cool beans. We got another one. Oh, I forgot his foot wraps. There we go. There we go. We're starting off strong with the foot wraps. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I didn't see this guy was like, he's got a skull like underneath his foot built into the sculpt. It's kind of hard to see, but right down there, he's got a little skull. It's like right behind his foot, so I'll have to remember that later on. Oh yeah, this is Calvinoni, the one and only. These are his Abyssal Dwarves and Orcs. He sent these in like a while ago. Sent these in a bit ago, and I've been plugging away little by little on them ever since. It's been a interesting story with these guys. Again, it's kind of just been little by little with the orcs and dwarves. He's graciously been patient while we paint up his orcs here. I can't appreciate it enough. And by the way, Cal, I saw you in there. Was all of your stuff good with the storms that rolled through in California? Was that anywhere near you? Just wondering if how everything's going. I know there was some crazy type of water coming down on California not that long ago. Well, I'm hoping that we can get them back to you pretty soon there, Cal. I got nothing but this project now. This is the only one on the painting bench. So yeah, they have my full undivided attention, and I plan to keep it that way until they're safely back in your hands. Um, I'm just gonna make an executive decision here. This guy needs to go. Where are my manners? We haven't seen our work. Let's see. Can we get a? So this guy's getting his tunic all going on. Had minor damage. However, now the road to our family's ranch is getting worse in one area. Oof. Yeah. Erosion is a powerful thing. That is for sure. Everybody's okay, I hope. It sounds like everything's good though. So that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. That sounds like one heck of a story there, Robert. Quite a bit of a story. All right. So we're looking pretty good on those guys. Let's keep them steady. Keep them steady. All right. So we got a nice brown base color on these guys. The orcs are looking pretty lit. I think they're doing what they need to do. There isn't a like. I think there's just a little bit of like, we're gonna do some weathering on them for sure. So I'd like to take just a second. We're gonna try out. I've used this old trick in the past, but using some Reichland flesh shade on a brown tone can sometimes lead to some really some really interesting color combinations. And then you've been organizing minis here. Store others up at our ranch in an old hayloft. Okay, gotcha. Cool. And then is it tough to see what I'm working on? Can I change the camera angle maybe? Let's see. I'm gonna... Let's see if we can maybe bring everybody in just a little bit more. So I think I'm going to use this guy as our test piece right here. We can kind of get an idea of what's going on with him. He's already had the brown highlights and whatnot applied to him. So he's going to be our test piece. And we're going to use this Citadel Reichland flesh shade. just to see how that's going to pan out for us when it comes to doing some effects on them. Yeah, it's hard to see with the camera. Okay. I feel like there's a very subtle fine point where I can kind of get the camera to do what I want it to do. All right. Let me actually see. I think there's a setting on here that I may... That should have taken care of it. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of cover this guy with this Reichland flesh shade. I'm not really like huge on a lot of Citadel stuff because it is pretty pricey, but I mean they do make some pretty slap banging washes every now and then that I have a hard time just saying no to. So we'll just kind of see what that does. Check back in a little bit later on him. All right. Very nice. H.P. Lovecraft was influenced by this guy who wrote the story about the hogs that go and attack this person's house. Oh yeah. You know it's crazy when H.P. Lovecraft is like, that looks cool. Yeah. It's gonna kind of darken us up in some areas and make some cool effects, I think. Once it totally dries. Yeah. Heck, let's find out what it looks like on a baby. Or one of, I guess, yeah, on a baby. I don't know what else to call this besides it's just their little offsprings that they have tied to their shields. Oh yeah, that might actually do it right there. Just kind of try and get it into the work it into the right nooks and crannies there. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It gives it a bit more depth right there. RPG Grandma! Hello! How you doing? Good to see ya. Always good to see the RPG Grandma in the house. Oh, heck yeah, Road March. Get painting. Get painting. There is never a bad time to go and paint. It is always a good time to go and paint. So yeah, I'm kind of digging the flesh shade on the baby. That is pretty good, in my opinion. I'm gonna see what it does to their faces. Just kind of experimenting here for later stages in the paint job. Yeah, I'm definitely digging the Reichland flesh shade on basically all of this. So we're gonna dunk these dudes in this flesh shade eventually. We got 7 live chat lounge cats. Oh boy, and we have the dungeon minister. Hey, how's it going? If you didn't see, I had some technical hiccups earlier, so 2 cameras, and there was some waiting, but luckily, I think Robert was the only one in here when I started the stream the first time, but I was just having a heck of a time getting everything to work. Yeah, luckily we sorted all that out. Well, all you gotta do is slap a little silver on them. I mean, the only color that you wouldn't necessarily have access to would probably be the these beautiful shades right here of of dirty pig pink around their fleshy bits. Let's see. Can I get you to focus, please? What do I pay you for, camera? Oh, I almost had it. There we go. Yeah, this dirty pig pink color in here somewhere. That's probably a pretty custom color, but you could color match it. I'm sure. I believe in you. In American Canada. I think that's this is where we're gonna leave our paints for tonight. I think I'm gonna just chat a little bit here for the moment, and we'll end in a little bit here. But I just gotta chat it up with everybody and catch up because oh man, did I miss the streaming? I missed streaming. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I was dealing with reporting things to the government and forming things and patting it and kneading it and throwing it in the oven, and that's what we call baker's bread, or however some of those old nursery rhymes go. So yeah, let's just chat it up. I gotta see how everybody's doing. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I think you could do it pretty. I'm just gonna go with this easy brown, silver, pink skin tone color for these orcs, and I think you'll be able to do it for sure. No problem. How's it going in American Canada? I've been through a couple Doonybrooks. I don't know if that I started watching this show Letterkenny, and I think it's starting to rub off on me. I don't know if you've seen Letterkenny before, but that's a pretty funny show about Canada, and some of the things that apparently happened there. I was just talking about Claricon too. If you go back earlier in this video there, Dungeon Minister, you can go and check that out. I was showing off all of the things that I bring when I go places and paint. So you can check that out. it's 2 Tupperware tubs full of like, well, not Tupperware, but like, you know, these giant these big bins. I'm bringing 2 of them along with me to Canada. Hopefully we can get them past the border crossing without too much snafu. What do you got in there? Paint? What's all this paint? I've heard the Canadian border guards can get a little uppity. Yeah, Minnesota is pretty cold. That's for sure. Like I said, it cracked the laser tube not that long ago when we had a really hard cold freeze. Oh, cool, cool. RPG Grandma's going on the orc painting warpath as well. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, Grandma. You should put some pictures in the Discord what you've been painting up. If you've been, you know, if you got any other stuff that I was painting. I really liked your dancing girl that you showed off over on Shadow and Sun stream. That was pretty cool. You were grilling hamburgers and it was 45 degrees out tonight where you were at? Oh, I'm a little jealous. Just a little jealous. There you go. RPG Grandma knows the one. Yeah. Patty cake, baker's man. That was the one I was thinking of. I just couldn't remember the lyrics to it. I'm with the government and I'm here to help. I'll keep that in mind, Road March. I'll keep that in mind. Bandits Keep had more trouble with the border guards going back south after Claricon. Yeah, it's both ways. It's both ways, I'm sure. It just kind of depends on who you get that day, I have a feeling. It's just... I'm sure that's how that one runs. Fantasy Ministry of the Border Guard. Just, yeah. Is it a little bit out of sync? Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it's like there is a lag going on. Yeah. It's like probably about a couple 100 milliseconds off. Maybe, well, maybe not a couple 100, but it's definitely noticeable. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but I may end up just going and switching back to old school OBS, which would kind of stink because I'd have to go and figure out how to do a restreaming service to the other, like TikTok, or not TikTok, but Twitter or X, whichever you want to call it, Twitch and YouTube. I would have to like figure out how to stream to all 3 of those simultaneously. However, it would, if I did go back to old school OBS, it would give me the ability to stream in 4K, which I don't know if anybody, you know, if it would be nice if anybody in here, you know, raise your hand or give me a, well, yeah, I would love to watch a 4K stream. If you're really interested in that, I might try and make that happen, because StreamYard has been getting more and more hard to deal with as I've been scaling stuff up. Does he dream of electric sheep? Well, that's for me to know and you to find out. If you bring painting stuff to ClaraCon, you'll be painting 24/7 at the con. You know, and that's just fine. Like, I would love to go to ClaraCon and just sit there and paint and be a fly on the wall. Like, and it would also be great because then people can get their minis painted for their sessions, you know, and that's my whole shtick, is like, I just like to help people out with their, you know, and have the minis that they want to use, and have it be Grognar, the Goblin Slayer, or whatever, and have them play that out. And having a little painted mini sometimes gets people a bit more into that headspace. So I would love to. I'd love to see to go to Claricon and paint minis 24/7. I'd be running off of nothing but Red Bull and caffeine. It'd be great. Red Bull, coffee, and Spite. How fast can you paint a mini? That sounds like an absolutely awesome stream. I think that would be a great like personal challenge stream. Cause I've got like, what do I got? I got a couple of like, so every once in a while I'll travel out into the world and I will like pick up something cool from like a mom and pop or, you know, your friendly local family owned game shop, and I'll just pick up something because they always got something. And the last time I was out, I got these guys. Let's get a little zoom out here. From the Pathfinder Battle Deep Cuts range or whatever, we got a female halfling cleric, and this is definitely a mini. Like these are tiny. This is one of Cal's beautiful 28 millimeter orcs. To scale with that is, you know, definitely halfling size. It is really small. But being small also comes with its own deals. You know, we can obviously make a lot more of some speed paint out of this, and make it go a bit quicker because it is so small compared to some of the other minis. And then this one I thought was just a really cool sculpt. This is an elf wizard from the WizKids line, and they were just, they had these out there for a couple bucks a pop. Robert, what's the longest amount of time you've painted? Well, when I was when I was just coming out of high school, I had some extra free time on my hands. And I painted up, let's see here. I painted up these 4 minis, which we'll get to in a minute. And these ones took me a couple hours. This was definitely that was an all-night paint job. But anyways, I got this elf wizard while I was out and about, and it's just kind of this cool sculpt with this lady casting spells and stuff. But we might be able to. I'm thinking the elf wizard might be a good one. But do up the elf wizard as a personal challenge and see just how long it could take for me to paint a mini, because it comes with 2. There's 2 of them in the box, so we could do one that would be like display style, and then another one would be like, tabletop ready, kind of. This is what you would get with a quick paint. But I tend to push myself to my limit every time I sit down at the paint desk. But that was a great question there, Robert. I appreciate that one. You must have a sloppy special real quick paint standard as well as a multi-layer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I tend to go for that here on the stream because I'm taking my own time. I'm doing my own thing. I kind of go with the careful precisionist method, but the Horde of the Damned was a pretty quick paint, too. That was definitely that was pretty sloppy special, but trying to maintain a standard. Yeah, I would definitely be down for a 24-hour paint challenge. Would be a lot of fun. I would probably be absolutely exhausted. Um, but it'd be fun to do as like a fundraiser or something for a good cause. I'd have to look up the YouTube policies and stuff on that if it's possible, and if so, how do I do that? Well, making sure I can still stay in good standings with the platform. Um, that's that's some crazy stuff, RPG Grandma. That is that's yeah, okay, all right. That is just crazy. Um, yeah, it seems like there is a bit more. There's this one's hidden by like she's got this clear shield thing going on. Why don't we just pop her out of her case? But you can find a lot of great minis and stuff if you're just looking for prepackaged minis to paint. You can find a lot of these shops and stuff. They just have overstock that they'll cycle through. You know, things from last delivery they got. I would say this one is probably the more starter variant of this particular model. Let's see here. Can we just zoom in on her? That'd be nice. There we go. So, but I would say this is maybe more of the starter version. The T-pose is really easy to work with. You can get your brush into many of the places because the appendage is kind of splayed out and whatnot. So I think this particular model would be your starter, and then you've got this would probably be maybe your more advanced with the this clear shield is what really caught my eye. I was like, ah, it's cool. It's literally like the spell or whatever. And then because you'd have to paint her hand on the inside of that, it just require you to finagle your brush. And there's some places here where her drapes or like her shawl or whatever is draping over different places. And this would probably be maybe a bit more of the advanced sculpt to paint. Still kind of cool. I dig it. I would love to do a challenge with that. And sit down. Now the last we'll do the quick story time here about these guys. So these three dudes, these three champions of chaos I did back in high school, these guys were approximately an entire night of painting, so about 12 to 16 hours, I think. And I was still kind of new to painting, but they turned out really well in this totally chrome, well, not chrome, but almost all metallic paint scheme that I did on them. But they took me quite a while to paint. Started off with a black undercoat, and I wasn't using an airbrush for this. This was all done with just a paintbrush and good old determination. And I tried to really pick home on their armor plating and bits, as well as some of the more graphic details on this like axe and whatnot here that I've got going. This was a pretty long paint session. I've got some other models that are pretty high up there in paint hourage too. Bill Sylvie's Red Dragon was like 18 plus hours of paint, but that was not in one sitting. You know, that's kind of a little bit different. Like the WizKids models. Let's give this wizard a bunch of pouches and a spell effect right in front of them, 2 meters off his body. Yeah, for sure. For sure. A lot of their sculpts are a bit different too. Plus, I think these ones are pre-primed too, but like when I've been working on this massive dragon that we've got here still in the studio, But when I've been working on this guy, this one also is a pre-primed. You can kind of still see the primer that they have on some of the bits on this dragon. Whatever primer they're using on these models is honestly kind of trash. It's it's not that great. The paint doesn't adhere like you think it would. You can do it with an airbrush though, for sure. So if you have an airbrush, it'll adhere just fine. But I have not really been liking their pre-primed stuff. The paint just runs in crazy places. Hey, thanks there, RPG Grandma. I appreciate it. Fluffy came out beautiful. Very nice. Yeah, we're still plugging away on I guess Fluffy 2. Or I can't remember which one is from. Fluffy is the silver one, I believe. But yeah. Still working on that one. Oh, yeah, the red dragon. Fluffy the red dragon. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, Fluffy the red dragon was what that was the in shop nickname. The silver dragon is Peaches. Okay, all right. I dig it. All right, we'll call that one Peaches. That sounds great. That sounds great. Oh, that is good. That is good. And the next time your PC talks to a dragon, you're gonna call him Fluffy. I hope so. I hope so. You got to report back how that. I want to hear about that. Oh boy. Well, yeah. So, what do we got going on coming up? I'm thinking. Let me see here. Let me pull up my actual. I really botched this earlier. Talking about the new stream schedule because I want to make a plan for the week before I kind of bid you guys adieu and a good night. Yeah, so Monday nights at 8:45 p.m. CST. All of the streaming times are 8:45 CST. Or whatever it is local, you'll get a notification if you're subscribed to the channel and have the little ding ding thing going on. But Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and then Thursday nights is the new streaming schedule for the channel. I've tried different combinations of days of the week to try and make things work with what I've got going on in life. This is just what I think is going to be working right now for me. I'm hoping in the future when I can get a career change in at the end of the year, fingers crossed, if I can get onto the fire department, that would be absolutely ideal because then I'll have every other day to be doing painting and taking care of business. And who knows, maybe there'll even be paint minis live from the fire station if I can make that happen. But for now, yeah, Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and Thursday nights. Wednesday nights are still kind of up in the air. I've got something planned, but I'm waiting to hear back from a couple of parties involved. Going to be hopefully working with Keck Publishing on getting something really fun together for Wednesday nights. So on Thursday night, I'm thinking I might go ahead and go grab my buddy Jack, and I think we might play a little bit more of that Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. If you haven't seen it, I did a stream on that a little while ago. The game is kind of Baldur's Gate-esque, but it follows the old Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader role-playing game rules, and it's like rolling dice behind the scenes and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. I had a good time last time we played it. I'd like to play a little bit more of it. It's been a while since I've played it. I was really hyped for it when the game came out, and I played it once and I haven't touched it since. I'd really like to play it again. So I think I might go down that road this Thursday night. Potentially a pop-up stream on the weekend, depending on what's going on there. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I know I've said that in the past and failed to deliver, but if I can spend some extra time on Cal's Dwarves on the weekend, or Dwarves and Orcs on the weekend, I like to do that. That way I can kind of take it a bit more at my own pace, since my nights have been pretty jam-packed the past like 2 weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks it's been that I've had like crazy nights. So that's in the works. Man, so much stuff going on. I just wish I could spill all the beans and the details. Oh, I wish. And I can't wait for all of you guys to find out more when I've got more to talk about with it. For sure. Yeah, I could yeah, it definitely seems that way. I mean, it's kind of been on my own. I think I'm just a glutton for punishment, but you know, I decided I wanted to make something that benefited like everybody in this wonderful community who has embraced Paint Minis Live. The things we're doing here, the message that we're just trying to spread, the good word of painting models and inviting community and just having a good time, being people that are just having a good time. And we've been really embraced by the role-playing game community. I wanted to create something that benefited everybody, and I've been really hard at work doing that. And I'm hoping that we can see some fruits of that labor very soon. So you got some secrets too in the RPG box? Okay, all right. RPG Grandma, everybody have your eyes peeled on that one. All right, I'm excited as well. I'll keep my eye on your channel for sure. Well, I think I'm starting to hit that wall. I had one heck of a workout prior to the stream. I just started moving up on the weights, and it's starting to get a little taxing. So I'm hitting my wall right about now. Can make Thursday nights, Tuesday is D&D nights, weekend are crazy. Fair enough. I'm just happy to see you. It's good to see you when I can see you there, Road March. And I'm happy to hear that you've got a little free time in there for some PML. Much appreciated. NDA involved. There you go. Well, anywho, thanks again everybody for coming in, all of the lounge cats that have been here, and all of the lounge cats in the replay. Don't be afraid to type some thoughts into the comments section. Do the click ding ding thing. If you're new to the channel, I hope you've liked what you've seen here, and I hope we'll see you back for some more merriment in the future. Thank you to Road March. Thank you to Robert Phillips. Thank you to RPG Grandma, the Dungeon Minister, because you guys get it. Let's see, am I missing anybody? Scrolling up through the chat. Yeah, Calvinoni, the one and only, if I didn't mention you. Yeah, so thanks to everybody. I'm Bill T, down here in the Creation Cave for Paint Minis Live. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Keep on gaming, keep on doing the things you do, and we'll see you back here for the next one. And take care. All right, bye-bye.